Hello friends, in this video I will walk through steps needed to develop Spark on Windows 10 using Eclipse editor. This video is intended for beginners who want to develop PySpark program using Eclipse on Windows 10. At the end of this video we will run a very small Spark program to validate if things are working as desired. Before we start, ensure that you have some prerequisite installed on your machine. The first thing that you need to verify is Java 8. If it's installed, you have to ensure that Java_home environment variable is added in your system variable and the path is modified to direct to Java_home bin folder. If you don't have Java 8 installed on your machine, there is a link mentioned below. You can download Java 8 from there and install it on your machine. And post that you can set Java_home variable. The second thing that you have to verify is Python installation. You can use Python 2.x or 3.x. If you don't have Python installed on your machine, you can go to www.python.org and download a respective version. Please note that 2.x version is very soon going to be retired. So ideally you should be using 3.x version. The third thing that you have to install is Eclipse IDE for Java. You can go to www.eclipse.org and from there you can download it. We will see later how to configure PyDev plugin for Python development. If you don't have that configure for now, it's okay. Once all prerequisites are installed, the next step is about installing Spark on Windows. Spark can be downloaded from spark.apache.org site and you can download the compressed version of the Spark. On your local machine you need to extract that using some tool like 7-zip into a folder. Please note that there should not be any space in between the folder name. In my case, I have extracted it under C PySpark. Since we are using a pre-built Spark binaries for Hadoop, we also need to use another component named as winutils.exe. You can download it from the link as mentioned below. So before we move to the next section, let's verify the things that we have already talked. So we will first verify if Java is installed on my machine or not. I can check it via command prompt. Just type Java version command and it should give you the version of Java that is installed on your machine. In my case it's 1.8.231. Let's again check the Python version. As you can see on my machine, Python version 2.7.17 is installed. I also have Eclipse on my machine. Later on I will show you how to configure PyDev. Now let's configure PyDev so that we can do Python development on the Eclipse editor. The steps that you have to follow is from the Eclipse editor. Once you are into Eclipse editor, go to help and from there you need to install new software and you need to browse for the location pydev.sf.net/updates, which will give you PyDev. You need to install PyDev. If if you don't have that installed on your machine. Else, like in my case, it's already installed, so you don't need to do anything. Once PyDev is configured, we will configure PyDev with a Python interpreter. We'll have to go into the perspective first, so you can go from the perspective, open perspective, others, and check it there. Changes to the PyDev perspective. The second step is go to the preference. Now we are going to modify our interpreter. In my case, I have installed Python under C Python 27 folder. So wherever you have chosen your Python installation path, you should mention that. If you want to do it automatically, just click on the quick auto config. It will find all the installation of Python in your system. Once we have Python interpreter configured, we will have to add couple of libraries. So go to the library section at the bottom window. As you can see that the first 5 libraries, it's a default one. 2 new libraries you can see. I have picked 2 libraries from PySpark folder where I have extracted my zip file. The first library is Py4j and the second one is PySpark. Py4j library acts as a bridge between Python and Java, and it's a must have to run Spark on your local machine. Please note that Py4j is not a Python interpreter. It is only used on the driver for local communication between the Python and Java Spark context object. The way you can add it, just click on the new zip or egg file and go to the folder. Now it's a window. We will just pick the zip file and we will select these 2 libraries. Once these libraries are configured, go to the environment variable. The 3 environment variables that we have to use. The first one is Hadoop underscore home. It's the parent folder where we have placed winutils.exe. I just want to quickly show you how my folders are organized. So as you can see here, I have extracted compressed Spark deliverables. The only additional component that I have added is Hadoop folder, and it's a folder which contains winutil.exe. So in your Hadoop home, as you can see here, Hadoop home is still Hadoop folder. You don't have to give bin. Similarly, Spark home, you don't have path till bin, so it's the parent folder. Now about a Spark local IP, it's going to be your actual local IP. It's not going to be 127.0.0.1. So let's check in my case what's the IP. As you can see, it's 168.1.5. I will just make changes here, apply and close. Once it's getting applied, the next step we have already done PySpark configuration for Py4j. The last step is to create a sample code so that we ensure that the things that we have configured is working fine. We'll go back to Eclipse editor. We have seen that's already done. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a PyDev kind of project. We'll give some example name. Let's give it example. We'll select interpreter as 2.7 because that is what we are using, and the other options we will not change, we'll keep it as default. Now once this PyDev project is created, the next step is we'll add a PyDev module. Let's give a name here, sample. Let's finish it. We'll select an empty project and we will start typing our code. First thing that we have to do is we have to select, we have to include some libraries. Let's select PySpark.sql from import Spark session. So from PySpark.sql we are importing a Spark session. The next thing that we have to do is define the entry point. So it should be a Spark session, and then we will use builder, and then we will use get or create. We will create a Spark context. Don't worry about these constructs because it will be covered as part of, or you can find the help online like what all these functions does. For this session my focus is just to show you if I am able to execute a Spark on my local machine. So let's give a name to the IDE and just parallelize it. We'll give some random number so that we can parallelize it on different nodes. Okay, and we will try to print. Okay, okay, I think there's a equal sign missing here, and then yeah, seems good. So if we have to run it, we'll just select, right click and run it as a Python. Okay, so it start executing on different phases. So as we have seen, we are able to execute a very simple sample PySpark code. Okay, so I think that's all. I think we will get into more details of PySpark in my next sessions. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you. Bye bye.